Live from Hollywood, California, it's Vicki Fitch Live. Live from Hollywood, California, it's Vicki Fitch Live. Join Vicki as she welcomes Leisa Reid. Join Vicki and Leisa as they discuss Leisa's brand new book, Manage to Success.
Hey everybody, Vicki Fitch here, your direct sales expert and the host of Vicki Fitch Live, A Fresh Perspective. And you guys have probably seen the show cards coming out. You probably just saw the video promo, and you know that I always give you some rockin' good guests. So today I am really, really excited about introducing you to a guest who I know personally, IRL, in real life. Her name is Miss Leisa Reid, and she is a dynamic lady. She is an awesome speaker. She is kind of a staple here in Southern California that we really need to make sure that people know who she is. She's the founder of the Orange County Speakers Network. There's so many things I could tell you about Leisa, but what I'm going to do is introduce her, have her come on live, share some of herself, and see what you guys think. So would you guys please help me welcome Miss Leisa Reid. Leisa!
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Girl, I am so excited to have you here. I have been dying to have you on the show. This has been it seems like it's taken forever because I have the guest booked out for so long and I kept going, where's Leisa? I need Leisa.
I'm here.
Oh, Leisa, I am just super duper excited. And for those of you guys who are listening on the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher, thank you so much for downloading this episode. I hope that you guys will take an opportunity to go over to facebook.com/VickiFitch1 and watch this as a live episode. We are working to get them all on YouTube as well, but this is episode number 18, I believe. And you guys got to see Leisa, first of all, is adorable. She has a dynamic spirit. She has a high energy about her that you will find fascinating and amazing. So please take a minute at some point and come check it out. So Leisa, tell these people who you are and what the heck you do.
Oh my gosh. I do so many awesome things and I get to meet amazing people like you. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Yes, OC Speakers Network, OCSpeakersNetwork.com is a group that I found. Amazing speakers like yourself, and if you're in Southern California, please just check us out. And so that's one thing. But what I'm here today to talk about is my management success program, and I have 20 years of management experience, and I want to help people. You know how like you get hired for something because you get hired as a manager because you're really good at your job, but you've never actually managed anybody before. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what's all these people? I'm working all the time. I don't know how to delegate. And all these things happen. I'm not like Angel, like that person who's like, I know how to help you. We can help that. So that's my passion today that I'm talking about.
That is super exciting. Now we are having a little bit of audio challenge. Rob, are we all good, or is there something Leisa can do to tune that in? Because I hear we're cutting out just a tad. Maybe you guys in the chat box could do me a big favor and let me know with a 1 if she's okay, 2 if you guys are having some tech issues while I continue to chat with my girlfriend Leisa. So Leisa, yes, first of all, I got the pleasure of meeting you while you were still formulating this idea, because you have, first of all, if people read your bio over at employeemanagementconsulting.com, right? Am I getting that right? Employeemanagementconsulting.com. When I read your bio and talk about growing up in Alaska, because it's a little chilly there sometimes, right? Yep. And right. So you've got all these things that you built a business and you sold a business and you started recognizing things along the way. And that's what the heart of an entrepreneur starts to see challenges that other people are having. They experience challenges themselves. And instead of dropping those problems, dropping them, dumping them is what I call on other people, you looked for a solution. You found a solution. And not only did you find it for yourself, but you developed a system to help other people do it too. So can you tell us just a little bit about that?
Yeah. Like you said, I looked deep into my heart. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to help? And I see we're having a little bit of internet connection, so I'll maybe talk slower and then the internet will catch up with me. Maybe that'll help. And it really dawned on me that I had a way of helping people be more happy at work and be more productive at work, which the productivity helps the manager, the happiness helps the employees, and really everybody. I think that usually people kind of feel satisfied with their job, or they're like, oh, I guess this is how it is, or there's nothing I can do about it. And my overall purpose, like my global purpose, is like, how can we increase happiness at work in general? And this is my small contribution to doing that. So that's a little bit about that part of me.
You know, it's cute. I love the way you say my small contribution, because it's not a small contribution. I mean, honestly, and I think this is what happens with entrepreneurs a lot, Leisa, is that they downplay, not because they're modest or martyrs, but they downplay because they don't realize how important what they're doing is, or how dramatic, or how much it impacts other people. You know, I was talking to a client the other day, and as a business coach, I get into the nitty gritty with people, right? And I get that opportunity to kind of say, you know, let's look at this differently. You know, let's unpack this. Let's reframe it. Let's look at it differently and show the ripple effect that you're making. And this particular person has impacted my life, and really significantly. And of course, you know, I kind of have a big mouth. I kind of have some big platforms to, you know, to drive traffic and to drive information there. And so when I was able to just help her target in on that one ripple, I said, if you just look at me as a ripple, imagine what else is going on. And I feel that same way about you, Leisa, is that, you know, just meeting you and having you come out to the ETC group that I'm a part of, and delivering a message that was dynamic and of course in nature, because you are high energy. And I think that's one of the reasons that you and I connect and we resonate together, is that we have some, you know, a very similar energy, but that, you know, you delivered that same reframing thing about what people want to do with their lives, how they want it. Do they want to take, you know, what's standing and sitting right in front of them, or do they want to, you know, are they going to just let things pass them by? And so you are ones that you grab the bull by the horns and you say, hey, I'm not going to let this, you know, continue to happen. So I would love, because, you know, I told you a fresh perspective is a little bit about diving deep. So I would love for you to just kind of take us back a little bit. Tell us, what was life like growing up as a, you know, as a kid, and when did you recognize that you were special, that you were different, that, you know, you had that, I read your stuff, you had that entrepreneurial spirit when you were younger. So when did you know?
Well, I grew up, like you had mentioned, I grew up in Fairbanks, Alaska. So props to all the Fairbanks, Alaska people out there, if there's any of you. And so I grew up really getting used to, building resilience. You have to be resilient. You have to be a survivor to manage living in Alaska. I mean, honestly, it's a lot harder. We have it so easy here. Y'all have no idea. So easy. And you could die out there, like if you don't have jumper cables or someone to come help you, or I mean, you know, the weather it's severe, right? It could be severe, and this is true for other states in the country as well. But so I think my dad was always an entrepreneur. I grew up with him always, you know, having his own business, and had his office at one point, like in the basement of our house, and so I would just see him do that and do what he loved. And I remember when I chose my major in college, the only reason I wanted to be a business major was so I could have my own business one day. But unfortunately, I took accounting for about a week, and I thought, yeah, no, this is not for me. If I need to know how to do accounting, I don't want to be a business major. See, they don't tell you can hire that out. So that was really exciting when I was like, oh, you mean I don't have to do the accounting to have my own business? I'll just hire someone to do that. And so that's a little bit of what happened.
Well, you know, when you're saying that, and it's absolutely true. And I think that's one of the things, my son's going to a new school this year, and it's actually it's a school of arts and enterprise where they actually teach kids. There's entrepreneurial classes. As a matter of fact, they asked me to come in and help teach on some of those things, because we're not taught that in school. I mean, I always tell my clients that you need to pick something as a career that you love, right? Not something that your parents are doing, or that you're going to make a lot of money, or you think is easy, or whatever. You need to just find something you love. Because I got to tell you, you, if people told me when I was in high school that I could make a living scrapbooking, I would have been like, I am so in. And I didn't find out about it till later. And of course, I, started in the direct sales industry, and I ended up being, top 10 internationally for more than a decade of my time there, because when you love what you do, it's different. And so that's what I see you. I see you loving what you do. I see you having this passion. And I really wish that we did a better job educationally letting people know, pick something you love. And no, if you don't like a portion of it, there are other people that do love that. And you put together a team, you put together a group of people that can, participate in the vision, kind of like, and I'm going to do a little plug here, which he doesn't know, but for an Enlightened Audiovisual, because they are the ones producing this show. And if would you guys do me a favor and just put like yay in the chat box, so I know that you're specifically talking about the production. Rob and his team are doing such a great job. We've got Rob, we got Sam, we got Jeff, we got we got the peeps behind here. I got Miss Jenny Q who funnels her peeps over here. Hopefully some of you guys are coming from Jenny Q. And, I hope that you guys are supporting this, because we really do want you guys to be able to kick Netflix to the curb and just hang out with us on Facebook, because we're trying to deliver some rockin' value. So as you build a partnership or build people together that can do the parts that you don't do well, you can excel, because as Rob always puts it, everybody gets to stay in their swim lane, that we all get to stay in our swim lane. And so I love that. And so I love that you're inspiring other people outside that and saying, wait, I recognize I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to, I don't have to do that. I can be an entrepreneur and not like this one piece of the business. And that drives us into your book, is identifying, okay, well, now I need to pull this team together, and I got these people. What do I do with them? Because people, they're quirky. People can be quirky. So tell us a little about that.
That's actually one of my favorite things about management. And it's true for any industry, anything. You put a group of 10, 20 people together that you're managing, they are not all going to be the same. They're going to have their different habits. They're going to do different things that annoy each other. That some people are going to like each other. Some people are going to hate each other. And most of the time as a manager, I was dealing with that stuff, not the job. They knew how to do their job, but then they would get distracted or sidetracked by, so-and-so said this, and and I just can't stand working with her, or I can't stand him. And you're having to manage those types of things. So there's a gift in being able to take these different people who are completely different and bring them together with a sole purpose, and actually somehow in this weird way start to like each other. And when they start to like each other, and I call it tolerance. Actually, I talk about that in my book, Tolerance. They don't teach tolerance necessarily in business. And because I think they think, tolerate means like, let someone get away with stuff. No, that's not what I mean by tolerate. I mean more tolerance, like let's welcome this person in. They are who they are. We're all here for the same purpose. And reacting and getting annoyed by that person, can we laugh about it? Can we laugh with them? I don't mean laugh at them, of course not, but can we come together? And I got a great lesson from one of my old former bosses. She would have us, when a new person came in, she would have everybody say, we'd have our meeting, and she'd have everybody say, ask one question to the new person. Like, what's your favorite food? What's your office pet peeve? What's your favorite, theme song? Who's your favorite sports team? Whatever. And then, so we would get to know the person, and then we would all share our own things, it would bring up conversation, and it created a really nice family environment. So I think that's one of the keys, is just bringing people together who are different, like going for a common purpose instead of dividing everybody up.
Well, you know what? And I really like that. And first of all, real quick shout out. I saw my man Vincenzo Landino's in the house. Vincenzo is an angel. If you guys don't know him, you got to check out Vincenzo. And he has a show that he's doing here with Enlightened Audiovisual as well, with Aftermark with Amy Schmidauer. And Vincenzo, don't forget, brother, we're going to get you back I know that old platform failed us, but this new platform is the bomb.com. So we are definitely getting you back on the show, love. And I'm so excited. Thanks for being here, Stacy and Michelle. And then Cash, I saw you come in from Periscope. Thank you so much. Again, you guys are such an amazing audience. Jeff Adams is in the house too. I think JoJo Keys is here. Again, we have such a great community. And as Lisa's talking about this community and this opportunity as we build things, it reminds me, you know, Lisa, I have a new book coming out called Evict the Bully in Your Head. And it talks about how we all are a product of our own environment, right? That we all start somewhere. And so when you're talking about these employees, you're talking about them, you know, being kind of quirky and kind of, you know, getting mad and having, it's because we have this thing, right? We're tainted by the filter that we grew up with, and we don't even know that that's happening sometimes. And that's some of the things that I noticed from your book. And for those of you guys who haven't seen Lisa's book, Manage to Success, you can get this at on Amazon, but we can just send them to your website, which is employeemanagementconsulting.com. And if somebody, Stacey Lynn, if you want to pop that in the chat box for me, I didn't have time to get some of the graphics, but if you can put the employeemanagementconsulting.com, you can click on the link there, this picture of this book, and you can order that from Amazon for Lisa. And I would love for you guys to do that. If you guys have employees, if you have anyone that you need to deal with, Lisa's done a really good job of sifting through some of the garbage that people throw at you at interview. I'd love for you guys to throw a one in the chat box if you've ever had somebody give you a line of crap on an interview, like where you're like, I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it. You know, Lisa went through some great examples in the book of how to, and I'm calling it sift through it. You know, Lisa, I think you did a much more eloquent job of describing it, but to really because our gut instinct, again, we have our own filter, right? We're a product of our own environment, and we have this filter, and that gut check has something to do with what's going on. But when you do the consistent things that you've got in here about asking the same questions of everybody and kind of, you know, staying on target, I think that it weeds out some of that. I'm going to call it desperation, because I have to tell you, I've hired employees before, and I thought, okay, that one's good, because I was so desperate that I thought that one would work, and it was so wrong. If I had only had this book before, it would have saved me a lot of time. So,
right?
You know, yeah, share some more about that, Lisa. And like I said, give these people some inspiration of why that book would help them.
Yeah, I think too, there's a couple of, one about, I wanted to comment because I didn't know you were coming out with your book. That's very exciting. Congratulations. And I know bullying is a big topic for you personally, you know, helping people. But honestly, there is a tie in there. So we should talk, because people get bullied at work. People get bullied at work. And the higher you are up on the food chain in terms, I don't talk about this in my book. Actually, it's like my next, like once you write one book, then you got to write another book. And that's so, but a lot of abuse happens at work, and it's not really talked about. You know, yes, there's HR, but people are scared to go to HR. They're going to lose their job, or it's embarrassing, or then what if they can't prove it? So it is actually a big problem. But this book, I don't talk about bullying in this book, but a couple of things I talk about are delegating. I think that's one of the big problems that people have. I think most people would agree that delegating is a good idea, right? Like, yeah, great idea. Yet we don't do it. Like, so many managers are burning the candle at both ends, working all the time. I just got off a call with a gal. She was telling me her boyfriend, I don't know her boyfriend, but if I did, I would have him read my book. Her boyfriend is working 12-hour days through October and has no time off, and is working all the time and has no life. And I'm like, that's horrible. Why would anybody do that? But we don't have skills to delegate properly. We don't trust people. We don't, want to give up the control. It's risky. And then we go, okay, fine. We get so tired and frustrated. We're like, okay, fine, you do this. We don't take the time to really show them how to do it. Or we give them a task way too big. They're not going to be able to manage. And then we're like, oh, of course it didn't work. I have to do it all myself, So it's just like a cycle.
I'm guilty as charged in the past. I'm guilty as charged in the past. I've done that. I know it's a true confession. I'm embarrassed. I'm saying, but I'm being honest.
True. I've done it too.
Okay, thank you.
I learned the hard way.
I'm not alone. So people,
You're
think
not
about
alone.
this. You're not alone. And that's one of the things that's so great about Leisa, is that she's making sure, you're not alone. And this book is designed not to make you feel like you're a loser, not to make you feel like you didn't get it right, but to say, hey, there's steps that we can take. Again, we are a product of our own environment. We all have situations that are filtering what's going through, and we have a choice and we have a chance to move past those. And I got to tell you, in this day and age, there are a lot of people that I think have gotten like a degree in BS. Seriously, like they deliver bull on a regular basis, and we're trying to figure out and sift through. And as employees, employers, as entrepreneurs, it's our job to try and find the right people, to deliver the right message. And so I personally love it when I can network with somebody like you, and that's one of my topics that I really want to talk about, because you're a real communicator and you're a real networker. You have, you and I met because you came out and spoke at a group. I think actually KJ is the one that referred us to get together originally, right? And then, right?
Yeah. We
and
met
so,
on, KJ introduced us on the phone, and we met on the phone.
Yes.
And I invited you to ETC. You didn't know Shelly yet. I think that's
right?
where we met in person. Yeah. In person for the first time was at ETC.
You know what? You might be right. And you know what? I had lunch. I was supposed to have lunch with Shelly today about doing some speaking for her, and she had to move it. But that's so funny. You're right. I was thinking that we just happened to be there together, but I think you're right. I think that you did. See, you're a connector, which is my whole point, is that's who you are. When I see you at the Orange County Speakers Network, when I see you networking with people, when I see you talking to people, even you have been, by the way, I'm very proud. You've been rocking your live streaming. I've seen some of the things that you've done, little video clips and different pieces that you've done. And you guys, do you love that smile? She's got that gorgeous smile. I just want to just grab her cheeks. I want to give her a hug. She's so friendly, and like the same person you're seeing on screen right now, that is exactly who you get in person. And so, and Lisa's constantly trying to connect people to speak, for each other's events. And again, that heart that you have, that passion that you have is kind of where I want to talk about a little bit. So we're going to go off business for a second, and we're going to talk about you. Who is Leisa Reid? Like, I imagine that you've probably stumbled in your life. I imagine you probably had some struggles. I imagine that everything wasn't perfect. And I'd love if there's something that you can share with the audience that gives them this fresh perspective, that says that girl that's got it all together, that she's an author and she's a speaker and she's all over the place and everybody admires her. Has she ever had a struggle? And would you share that with us and give some hope to the audience?
It's going to be a short show. I've just never, ever had a struggle, Vicki.
Wow. Wait, we could just change the show to The Perfect Woman, and we'll just sit here and we'll all give accolades to, accolades to Leisa.
For real though, for real. Absolutely. I've had struggles. Absolutely. And a lot of the work that I do comes from that. I think a struggle is an opportunity to learn all the time. Even, I work with a company that's deep in, does excellent personal development too. And so I take personal development to heart. It's changed my life. And not that my life was bad before, but you know what I mean? Like, it's enhanced and made it even more extraordinary. And I think it's really critical to get in touch with your emotions. That's one of the things I talk about. So I'm like, men, you have feelings too. We all have feelings. And oh, my dog wants to come in. Hold on. Sorry. We're actually...
That's a first.
So see, there's one of my problems. My dog.
It's called real.
One of the things that I had a really tough. I'll share about a year that I had. 2008, 9, 10, 8, 9 were really, really probably the lowest times in my life. And I was married at the time. I'm married now, just to a different person. But and we had a lot of properties, we had businesses, we had, and it all fell apart in the economy. I'm not saying that was the only thing that happened, but we were high on the mountain and then down in the valley, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then to top that off, we also ended our marriage. And so anyone who's gone through that, whether it was a financial crisis, we were about $1 million in debt. So, big financial crisis, and getting divorced is a very lonely experience. It's like, for me, it was, I don't know if I would say embarrassing, but definitely unexpected. Like I was like, I didn't think that was where I was going to go. That wasn't part of the plan.
Sure.
And neither was the financial crisis. I don't think that's ever anyone's plan.
Yeah, I'm thinking it probably people will go, hey, okay, at this age, I think I'm going to go through a financial crisis. I'm pretty sure it just doesn't come
lose
up.
everything and start over. Yeah, no,
because it'll be fun.
Yeah, you're going to learn a lot. And so I did learn a lot, and I did, of course, come out on the other side. But I can absolutely relate to when things are not going well. And again, we go back to that resiliency that I had growing up in Fairbanks. I mean, we all deal with challenges differently. And I'm one of those like, okay, it is what it is. Now what? How am I going to get myself? I know I do have a deep belief I will survive. Thank you, Gloria Gaynor. But that I will get out of this. I'm not sure how yet, but I'm going to forge ahead. I'm not just going to give up. So
yeah, go ahead. Well, go ahead. And well, real quick, Sean McKenna's in the house. Sean's been a guest on the show. He's amazing. Jay Garrett, Bill, Candy, Rick. Thank you guys for being here. And I did see Vincenzo, you did this in public. You are coming back on the show. So Vincenzo Landino, he already agreed in private, guys. Anyway, he's an awesome guy. But I just wanted to say one more time, I love that guy. He's awesome. We did a great interview, and we had our old platform stunk. Just saying, I'm not going to go into details, but we didn't like it. But we love this one. And I totally want to rock my interview with Vincenzo because he's a doll. He's smart. He's articulate. He's fabulous. But I don't want to detract back from Leisa, because you, again, Leisa, are sharing your heart, giving people hope and inspiration. And when we can do that, I think that as leaders, as entrepreneurs, and leaders in the community, it's not just leaders in a public forum or a public space, but in our community, that when we step up to make a difference, when we share from our heart, we expose ourselves, right? It's that vulnerable side of us. It makes us real. And when you said earlier, guys, you have feelings too. Guys are kind of conditioned from a very young age to stuff them. Big boys don't cry. That's not the way you do it. Be a man up, suck it up. This whole philosophy that is challenging, and it puts men at a little bit of a disadvantage because they're, communicating with women who we tend to be, I'm not me, of course, but women in general tend to be a little emotional. All right. So anybody who knows me knows that's a load of crap, because I am an extremely emotional person, but it's one of the things that makes me who I am, right? It makes me dynamic, and it makes me real. And that's one of the things that I love about you, is that that you're real. Like, I don't have to wonder, like, who's waking up today? Like, what Leisa am I getting? If I get to talk to Leisa Reid on the phone, who's coming to the phone? Is it going to be her sister Sybil, or are we, who's coming? And that is what I see you projecting to your Orange County Speakers Network. And because founding a group like that takes drive and enthusiasm, and it takes a spirit of pulling people together. And so I can totally see why, when you had those challenges, that you were able then to transition into, I'm not going to let this beat me up. I'm not going to let it kill me. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? I am going to suck it up, but I'm going to feel it along the way. And that's the difference. And so how do you think that those experiences have given you the edge you need as an entrepreneur to do that perseverance, and to start, giving other people hope that they can be real and still be a strong businesswoman? Because you're a strong woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it is really important. That's a great question. So to make sure the audience knows, doesn't feel too bad. The good news is, by 2012, I was financially in the black. So that was good. Yes.
Which is kind of a miracle anyway.
I know, right?
I owe $1 million. Now I'm in the black. Yeah. Just saying, that you do the math. Just saying.
And also on the other side, I started, working on myself and realizing, I think this is a big key for anybody, to take responsibility for the circumstances that you're in, of course, because I could blame the economy. I could blame my ex-husband, who I'm actually still very good friends with. So it's not, I could blame all these things. It's not fair. It shouldn't have happened to me, or whatever. But when we take responsibility for ourselves and for our future, for our present, and we start to shift within instead of looking for things to change outside of us, That's the key right there. And so that's something that can be helpful for anybody and wherever you are in your business, whether you just got your website URL bought on GoDaddy or you have been in business a long time. That's key, is being able to go, so I love working with people who are willing to say, you know what, I don't know everything. I'm going to get some support in this area. And that's what I do. I don't know everything.
Sure.
I know when I need to ask for help, and I'm not scared basically to ask for help. That people could be scared to ask for help. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to ask for help. So I would say that's very important as an entrepreneur to kind of get outside of yourself. Because have you ever heard that story about the two fish in the water?
Well, there's lots of stories about fish in the water. So why don't you lay it on us, girlfriend? Okay.
So there's two fish in the water. It's a very short story. They're swimming in the water. And the older fish, this isn't my original story. I just can't remember the name of the guy. So, and then the other fish swims over, and he's an older fish, more mature. And he says, how's the water, kids? And the one fish looks at the other fish and he says, what water? And that's
perspective.
Right? Like we are kind of we're in our water. We don't feel it anymore. We don't notice it. It's just, this is my water.
Right.
And so we have to kind of sort of shock the system so that we can see the water that we're in and realize there's other water available.
And we need to kind of notice if the water that we're sitting in is kind of stinky and yucky, right? Nobody's cleaned that water for a while.
You don't smell it anymore. You can't even smell it. You're like, it doesn't stink. Yeah, this water smells great.
Wait, I can't see either because it's so cloudy.
It's all cloudy. You're like, what? Yeah, exactly. And we all know there's people out there who are literally swimming in some cloudy, nasty water. So,
yeah, I'll say. And I think that is what, that's what this show is all about. Vicki Fitch Live, A Fresh Perspective, is trying to give people a different kind of perspective, is trying to, we're trying to filter out that icky water and try to let them see clearly through other people's eyes that have maybe been in tough situations or fantastic situations, to give hope and inspiration, but to also show a little bit behind the scenes. Because I feel like there's a lot of interviews that people talk about the surface stuff. They never get into the meat. They never really share who they are. And I don't think it's that the authors or the people don't want to. I think a lot of people are afraid to go underneath and say, hey, can you share something vulnerable with us? Can you do that? And that's one of the things like that I wrote, Evict the Bully in Your Head. And the reason I wrote that book was because, we all are a product of our own environment. We all have a bully that got put in our head somewhere. And I always say the bully comes in as a baby. It doesn't come in as this, 6'2" big, stud muffin that we're afraid of. It comes in a little bit of baby. We come in, we nurture it, we feed it, we clothe it, we care for it until it's this monster, and we wonder, how the heck did it get here and how do I get it out? Because we're told somewhere along the line we're not good enough, smart enough, fast enough, or whatever. And so the reason I bring that up, because I think it does tie in with your book, but I also want to remind people that because of that, Vicki Fitch Live, on the first Wednesday of each month, I do the Evict the Bully in Your Head series, where I bring someone in that's truly been through some trauma, truly been through something. I got to tell you, I always have tissues available for Vicki, for Evict the Bully, because I am always crying. And yes, if you guys want to see me cry on screen, feel free to show up next Wednesday night. I actually have Monique Hoffman. She goes by @QTheBrand on Twitter. She has an amazing, heart-wrenching story that kills me every time. And yet she's so strong that you can't help but not only be inspired, encouraged, and motivated by her, but you can see that, how she delivers that message. And again, I think the way she gets through, Lisa, is by meeting people like you, by meeting people like me, by meeting other people that are still willing to be vulnerable, to help sift through that stuff and still say, you're okay. You know what? That sucked. It did. But you're okay. And just like you, because you look at you, I mean, you guys in the chat box, does this woman look like she was ever $1 million in debt and like desperate? And you're looking at her going, oh my gosh, she's gorgeous. She's smart. She's fantastic. She's vibrant, energetic. She's dynamic. There's no way that girl had any problems. I mean, seriously, like, she's picture perfect. So you right there are like a little mini Evict the Bully. You're like, I know that bully. I'm going to kick that bully to the curb. He's not going to stop me because you are Leisa Reid. You are you are a woman here, you roar, and you are going to deliver value to the community. And I'm personally super proud to know you, Leisa. I feel really honored that, that you're participating in our stuff here. And I know that there's some stuff that you want to, share with the audience as well. I would love for you to tell them, is there some little nugget, some wisdom, or some knowledge bomb you want to drop on them?
Yeah. One of the things I was talking to actually one of my colleagues today, and by the way, I am equally enamored with you, Vicki Fitch, and it's amazing. So, we just hit it off right from the start, and I'm loving our relationship and just our friendship. And so thanks for having me on, and you're just amazing. I think everybody knows that. Say yay, Vicki, if you think Vicki's amazing too.
Well, thank you for that. That's so sweet, Leisa.
But yeah, one of the things that I start with in my book, and actually people can grab I have a free guide on my website too, they can get that, but it talks about expectations and, or you can call them agreements, whatever it is that you want. But when we're hiring someone, and you can translate this as a parent, as a spouse, so it doesn't, even though my stuff's about employees, okay, we are dealing with people, right? And we have hidden expectations are actually the dangerous thing. When we have expectations with someone and we're not telling them what they are, and they only know when they've disappointed us or when they've not hit that expectation, that's the danger zone. And honestly, the bigger part of the problem is that we don't even know what our expectations are. And you can break it down to even like if anyone is married out there, yes, I'm married, I'm married. Well, y'all have to do the dishes in your house, right? There are two people. There's a husband and a wife. We're not even adding the kids into this equation. There are two people who have two different versions of expectations of how the dishes are done. Something as so simple as doing the dishes can cause huge fight. How long can they sit in there?
Oh my gosh.
Where do they go? How do you load the dishwasher? Do you rinse the dishes out before you put them in the dishwasher, or you just throw them in there when they're all dirty? Like people have very, very, very
yes
opinions about this. So again, it's about like those expectations. And if we don't say it like right up front, like, hey, do you want to marry me? Well, I don't know. How do you like to do your dishes?
Okay, I just have to interject. So again, this is hashtag True Confessions right here. So for those of you who are, I may edit this out. My husband and I have such a complete difference. I am so type A.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm serious. Okay. I cannot stand, honey, if you're watching, I love you so much, but I cannot stand the way he does the dishes. If he hand washes the dish, I will not use it. It is never actually clean. Because he my husband water or slightly warm water, and maybe there was some soap, and who knows if he even rinsed it all the way. Sometimes it tastes like soap. So I love my man, but you're so right, because there are so many. We do have our own internal expectations about how we need things, and I'm feeling so embarrassed because it's so true, and it's such a hot button, right? Yeah. Don't people get triggered just like in jobs? Don't people get completely triggered by what can be considered small?
Yeah, and that's why I use the dishes thing, because everybody, unless you eat out all the time, most people have dishes in their house that need to be cleaned at one point. And so everyone can relate to that. And that's a small thing. Like you think like, well, I don't get upset over dishes. We all do sometimes. If someone has violated your dish rule, you have gotten upset about it. You have roommates or whatever. Like, oh my gosh, that's so rude. Can't they put their, whatever. So you take an example that small and what we think petty maybe, and you say, well, what about your rules for communicating to a customer, or how you answer the phone, or how you communicate that, and we don't know what our expectations are, and we haven't communicated that can be really serious. That can cause a lot of problems.
It can. And you know what? In our chat box, Mindy is asking a question, about why are men mean to their women? Because, and it's not exclusive, obviously, to men doing it to women. Because let's face it, ladies, we can be pretty pissy ourselves. Let's not pretend, because I'd love to pretend I was perfect and you could stick me on a pedestal, but it's a load of crap because I'm not. We have moods, we have, feelings, we have situations. situations, things that, you know, our own filter that comes through. So what is your interpretation of, you know, relationally, you know, how we're talking, like you said, it's not just about employees, it's about relationships and how we relate to people. So what do you think? Why are men triggered to maybe be a little bit more aggressively, not, and I don't mean aggressively physically, but just aggressively maybe sarcastic or snippy or flippant with women instead of talking things the way we do?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. And of course I have questions about the question because I want to make sure I'm like, well, that's a big question. Oh. So yeah, I'm like, am I going to get in trouble here? No, I agree that I think we could say, why are women mean to men too, right? Like so I'm there's probably some, I would guess Mindy has a certain person in her life that she has witnessed a person being mean to her. So that we can boil it down to the individual, that person, like, oh, why are there mean people in my life? Okay, so then we go back to the example of like looking at ourselves, like, am I attracting this type of behavior? Is it familiar? And then I can go real deep into like conscious, subconscious stuff. Like consciously, of course we don't want people who are mean to us in our life, but subconsciously, wow, if we were raised in an environment that there was a mean treatment occurring, then yeah, you're gonna attract that just because it's comfortable, even if you don't like it. So that's where, like, go get some, you know, work in that sense. But we can go global. And I saw this really cool company called Go Jane Go. Have you heard of that, Vicki? I don't know if you've heard of that. I haven't
actually. Sure.
It's launching, and so this is kind of just another perspective, fresh perspective. Go Jane Go is like Uber, but it's for women drivers only and women passengers. And a man can go with the woman if she vouches for him. So what they had discovered is that the drivers in Uber were mostly male, because the women, there was maybe like 17% female drivers, because they were scared. And there's a really powerful quote here. It was, most men fear women laughing at them, but women fear men killing them.
Wow.
So when we talk about,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there is a fear of women being actually, so that's why I said, like, we can kind of go, there's a big scale in this conversation that that can be very serious. So it's like, wow, there is a part of our culture that's still allowing men to be violent, and there's a certain, we've made progress, and then there's progress still to be made.
You know, I think it's a good point too. And even though, you know, our show is about, you know, the books and different stuff. And by the way, I'm going to hold this back up again to make sure that you guys can see it. I think I'll put it on this side. So then let's see, right about there, right? So, you know, if you haven't read this book, Manage to Success by Leisa Reid, you guys can get it on her website. It will take you over to Amazon, but it's employeemanagementconsulting.com. You can click the book and it'll head you right over to Amazon. But, you know, the thing I find, Leisa, is that when we start building in, you know, certain environments, right, we start reaching other areas. Like you're talking about this and how relationally and what was happening with women and men, that's what entrepreneurs do. We, you know, even if we're, as Jeff puts, I mean, as Rob puts it, you know, stay in your swim lane, we're still educating ourselves beyond our boundaries, because that's who we are. That's what entrepreneurs do. They tend to look at a problem and they try and find a resolution, right? The problem solvers of the world are entrepreneurs, and they're also salespeople, right? We always say, you know, sales, I think Jim Keenan, I'm doing his book. We just finished his book, Not Taught, in our book club. And he talks about the fact that sales is simply solving a problem. I mean, it is, right? And that's kind of what you're doing. You're solving a problem. You're helping people solve a problem. So you're selling them on a concept. And so when we change people's perspective, which is what this show is about, when we change our perspective, when we reframe things a little bit, just a little bit of nudging can change the way people see things. And I don't know if you saw the post I did on Facebook the other day. I don't know who the original author was. It's all attached to it, but there was these two apples, you know, and this is just a really good example if you guys didn't see it. And the apple, the teacher had these two apples and they both look beautiful on the outside, right? They all have this beautiful skin. And so what she was doing all day though, is she's squeezing the one apple, you know, and she's not breaking the skin. She's squeezing it and she's tapping it on the desk and different stuff. And so she asked the kids, at the end of the day, you know, she talked to the kids and she passed the apples around and she said, I want you to take this apple, the one that she had been, you know, kind of squeezing and maybe tapping on the desk a little bit. And she goes, I want you to say ugly things to it. I want you to say, you're ugly. I hate you. Your skin's ugly. You're a terrible color of red. I want you to say whatever nasty thing that you can about this apple. Not nasty, you know, literally, but I want you to talk to this apple and tell it that it's not nice, you know. And so it passed it around. Then she had the beautiful apple, and she passed it around, and there, you know, she passed this apple thing around. And by the way, Kevin Barnes, thank you for being here. I appreciate you as part of the audiovisual team. That she passed this beautiful apple around, right, and said, okay, I want you to say nice things to this apple. I want you to tell this apple it's beautiful and it looks sweet and it looks juicy and it looks fantastic. And all the kids did that. So then she took the apples and she cut them in half. And when you opened the apple, you saw the brown and the damage, you know, and then you saw the beautiful apple. And that's what's happening with employees. That's what's happening with people. That's what's happening with relationships. So when this girl, when you're asking Mindy about, you know, why are people mean? I think they're mean because somebody's been damaging their apple. They've been picking at it, nicking at it, bumping it. You might not see it on the outside because they look okay, but inside they've been bumped and they've been bruised and they've been hurt and they don't know how to share it. They don't know how to transfer. And so when Leisa, you're talking about, it's still the same thing. How do we build relationships? You know, how do we manage people? We manage them by figuring out what's going on and finding a bridge and a lane to communicate, you know, what's happening. And I mean, I don't want to like tell people that's what this book is about, but would you say that that's kind of a bridge about some of the things that you've delivered in here of helping people to understand other people better?
Absolutely. There are so many things that you need to know as a new manager. And what I did is I tried to give you like, okay, the highlights. Like if I had this book 25 years ago, it would have solved so many problems. And they're super easy. Like, I don't like to draw it out. It's not like a Moby Dick, or not that that's a bad book, I'm sure. It's and I'm going to take you that long. You could probably read it in like one night, right? It's easy to digest.
Moby Dick, not Moby Dick, but this you can read.
Yeah. Moby Dick in one night. Oh God, if you're really a speed reader, maybe. But so I try to make it like, I just get right to the point. Here's what you need. Do this, do this, do this. I give you ideas, and then of course you can tweak it how you want. But the idea is, how can I save you time or your company money if it's your own company? Employees cost a lot of money to hire, like you were saying that in the beginning, like, oh my gosh, it's just, okay, you're fine, you're perfect, I love you, start. Can you start? And maybe you're making the wrong decision, but you're so desperate for help. And that could cost you so much. It costs like 3 times a person's salary to replace a quality employee. So there's money just down the drain if someone leaves. And it's like, well, not that we want everyone to stay, because sometimes there's people that do need to leave. But, you know, bye-bye. But yes, let's work it down the way out. Yeah. But, you know, what if it's someone who could have been molded, who could have been saved, you could work with them just by a couple tweaking things or understanding them, taking that time to really understand them. One of the other things I talk about, there's just a simple technique that you do. You put it in your day when you can catch it in the book, but you just do this, and all of a sudden you're up to date on all the gossip and the who's mad at who and who's got a big sale coming up and who's got this and who's got that. So, you know, there's a lot of things you can do that don't cost a lot of money, that are really quick, and you just incorporate them as a manager and as a leader, and your people are going to be like, oh, I love you, and they'll do anything for you. Anything. They'll be loyal, they'll stay, they'll be happy, they'll feel like it's a family. I mean, I know when I left my last team to go work for this other company, I mean, it was tears. Like, I felt sad. I didn't want to, like, I was ready to move on in my life, but I didn't want to leave them. Like, they're my babies. Mm-hmm. And we still are all in touch. A lot of them have moved on and done different things, and they're all still like together, even though these people who maybe didn't like each other in the beginning, somehow we had that common commonality that we created as a team. So,
and when we create those threads, that's what, like I said, that's one of the things I love about you, because I honestly feel like if somebody threw a bunch of really grouchy people in a room with you, that like, I don't know how, 20 minutes tops, I'm pretty sure Leisa'd have them all singing Kumbaya and probably cooking for each other or something. I don't know, because you have
I
that.
do have a magical touch. Yes,
you do. It's amazing. And you use that in some of the other things that you're doing in your life. And I know that, you know, you have a freebie and stuff on your website, which I'm going to talk to them about in a minute. And, you know, we can direct some traffic over there, but I want people to get to know you. And so for a minute, I'm going to give you a second to think about this, because I'm going to talk about something really fast. But yes, that's right. Wait, Leisa, marinate on this. Remember, that's what I always say, marinate on this a minute. You know, if there was only one thing that you could tell people that would transition their life, what would it be? And I want you to think about that for a second. Okay. So for those of you guys are here, again, listening to the podcast, listening and not getting to watch this in person, I hope that you will go see episode 18 of Vicki Fitch Live on my Facebook channel. We're also going to be putting it up. It is on iTunes. It's pretty much any place you can download a podcast. You can get Vicki Fitch Live under Vicki Fitch Broadcasting. I hope that you guys will actually watch the episode on my Facebook page, Vicki Fitch 1, because that's where we're delivering the content. And you can see, when you see people's eyes, when you see their face, it changes your perspective. You can hear a voice, but voice inflections can be misinterpreted sometimes. That's why when you get to see the eyes, when you get to put the whole package together, it changes and it reframes for you. And that's, you know, so important. So I hope you guys will watch the episode. I hope you guys will actually pull out your phones right this minute. Yes, not if you're driving. If you're driving, don't do this. Do this later, okay? But those of you who are watching right now, or you're stationary, pull out your phone, put an alarm in for 7 p.m. Pacific time every Wednesday night, because I bring you a new guest. And like I said, the first Wednesday of the month, we bring you the Vic the Bully series. The rest of the month, next month, for instance, is Fabulous Female Entrepreneurs Month. And I have a powerhouse lineup. I have Lisa Moore. I have Sarah Moore. I was talking Leisa Reid, and I'm just combining Leisa Reid and Sarah Moore together. I have Amy Schmidauer. It's again Vicki Taylor. I have Monique Hoffman. It is a great group of people, and I hope that you will join me. So I hope you'll put that in your phone book, and I hope that you guys will give some props to Enlightened Audiovisual, because again, without them, I couldn't be doing this broadcast right now. Many of you have been followers of mine for a while. You know, we're on episode 48, I think, on He Said, Red Said. We've been doing a podcast now for about a year, and I have never had the fun, the excitement, the engagement that I do right here. And it's because of Rob Hicks. It's because of Sam Gonzalez. It's because of Jeff Adams. It's because of Jeff Fitzgerald. And even you, Kevin Barnes, it's because of you. So I thank you guys so much for what you're doing for me and what you're doing for my audience and the ripple effect that you guys are causing, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But right now, I'm going to go back to Leisa, and I want her, now that she's marinated on the question, Leisa, deliver some knowledge bombs to these peeps, girlfriend.
Absolutely. Okay. So it's funny that we're on the fresh perspective, because I think the most important thing is to be open to new possibilities. And it kind of goes back to that water with the fish story, that we just over and over again, so many people that I help think there's only one way. I've already tried everything. There's nothing else. This is the way. It won't work. I can't do it. And I have to say again and again, yes, there is a way. There is a way, but we need to open up. Can we be a little bit more like, and I'll say to them, are you open for possibly looking at it differently? Mm-hmm. And that question, if you can ask yourself that question when you're struggling with something, am I open to looking at this situation differently? Mm. And if you can say yes, because sometimes we're just really mad. We're like, no, this is the way it is. But if you can get to that point where you're like, you know what, I am. And bring somebody else in to help you, because usually we're so stuck in our stuff, we can't see that other way. Mm-hmm. Ask for another perspective, because it's like, for example, Vicki, you've been a great inspiration. Like, yeah, you can have your own show and do whatever you want and talk about whatever you want and be around people who you want, and you can make money doing it. And you're like, wait, what? You can, what? People could do that? Like, yes. or you could think, no, I can't do anything. I can't have this. I can't, you know what I mean? So when we're really able to be okay with having that other perspective, I think that's really important.
Well, and I think that makes a lot of sense, because we have to marinate on it ourselves. We have to marinate on change, because most people people don't jump up in the morning and go, I hope there's a lot of change today. I mean, I don't. I really don't. I'm sure that's a big shock to many of you, but no, I like things. I like my file folders right where they are. I like my stapler is right here. I mean, seriously, like I'm very organized and very structured. So I don't wake up in the morning and say, I hope things change. I always say, I hope there's something different. Like, I hope there's something exciting, right? So there's a difference, the way we perceive change and the way we perceive going in the right direction. And so as we, as we make a difference, not only in our own lives, but in other people's lives, we are the ones that get to reframe. We get to choose. Am I going to whine and complain? Am I going to dump on people, or am I going to be a problem solver? Am I going to be the person that says, I can't? Or are we going to be the one that changes the way our brain thinks and says, how can I? How can I? Because most people don't understand that the brain, how powerful it is. They hear how powerful it is, but they don't get it. So if you take that, you guys, and just think about it for a minute, and instead of saying, oh, I can't do live streaming because I don't know how to talk, or I stutter, or this or that, and say, how can I? How can I be a live streamer? How can I make money at it? How can I be an author? How can I be a speaker? How can I get a rock star group like Enlightened Audiovisual to produce my show? How can I? When you choose to change the direction, the way you're thinking, you will change the outcome. You'll change the trajectory of your life. And for me, for those of you who don't know me, I am going to introduce myself, because there's an opportunity here for you. And my goal with doing this podcast, Vicki Fitch Live, A Fresh Perspective, is to deliver value to the community. I happen to be a Christian, and I call myself a Christianpreneur. And I say, the Bible says, to whom much is given, much will be required. And so for me, I have to give back. It's part of who I am. It's part of what I believe. I have to give back. And so letting you guys know who I am and why I can deliver value is an important piece for me. So just, hang with me for a second while I tell you who I am. My name is Vicki Fitch, in case you guys haven't figured that out yet. I am a direct sales expert. I've been in the industry 20 years, top 10 sales and recruiting internationally for more than a decade of those. I've also built and sold 4 companies. I also run a nonprofit. I have a special needs child, and my life isn't perfect. I am an author, a speaker, and an international business consultant, and I'm here to help you get outside what I call the 5,000 and turn your passion into your profits. And I'm here to deliver you value. I'm on Periscope and Facebook Live twice a day, delivering value to you as a community, answering your questions, giving you an opportunity to be a how can I thinker instead of saying, I can't, I'm not good enough, strong enough, smart enough. You are enough. And I want you guys to know that. This is so important to me, that you know you are enough. I bring a guest on like Leisa each week to remind you not only that you are enough, but that if you ever felt like you're not enough, we've felt that way too. We've been there. We've hurt. I've had my heart broken more times than I care to count, right? People will let you down. But when you change the way you think and you don't sit and wallow in your stuff, right? You change your perspective. You have a fresh perspective. You can change what's going on in your life. So Leisa, I am so excited that you came here today. I'm so, motivated, encouraged, and driven by everything that you share. I wonder if you want to, give them, we'll wrap up in a few minutes here, but, I wonder if you could give them, let's talk about, you have a freebie that you're offering them. Just a free gift if they go to your website. Why don't you tell them a little bit about that?
Free gift. Yes. If you go to my website, you can, this is especially tune in if you hire people, or if you're thinking, maybe you're a solopreneur, but you're thinking of hiring some people or bringing on a team, even like with what Vicki has, you can still be a solopreneur. It doesn't mean they're your employees. It could just be like, who's going to be my graphics person? Who's going to be my social media person? Who's going to be my coach? Like maybe Vicki's going to be your coach. And, so it's called The 7 Deadly Mistakes Managers Make When Hiring. And one of those is what Vicki was talking about, where it's like, ooh, you might get tricked, because you want them so bad. You're like, oh, it sounds good. And then you're like, no, hold on. And
breathe.
Yeah, like don't get dazzled. Don't get dazzled yet. Now we want to be dazzled for long term, not just short term. Oh, and so so go grab that. It's yours free. It's a free guide. Knock yourself out. There's a couple, you'll get a couple videos as well in your inbox when you sign up for that are really, really helpful. And so message me if you have any questions. I'm here for you.
And that is at employeemanagementconsulting.com, correct, Leisa?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
So, and Leisa, one of your favorite, and first of all, Mindy, I saw your message there. I don't know if you know this, but I do have a free consult. You can go to VickiFitch.com, VICKIFITCH.com/20. And I do a free 20-minute consultation. That applies to everyone. Again, that's my gift back to you as a community, as an opportunity to help you build your business. Now, in all actuality, somebody asked me the other day, well, are you going to try and sell me something? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to share whatever I have that will help you. Yes, because that's my job, right? If I didn't, then I would be a pretty lousy business consultant. But that there's no pressure, and you will never feel uncomfortable about coming onto my broadcast again, because it really is a gift, and I want to do that for you. So Mindy, please fill that out and make sure that you do that. And so Leisa, you also have, what's your favorite social media platform? Because people want to connect with you, and we want to drive some traffic to your Facebook page. I think that's one of your favorite platforms, right?
Yeah, Facebook is definitely my favorite. I'm on everything else, but just Facebook is my favorite. I'm not good at the other ones.
Leisa, okay, here's a truth bomb from Vicki Fitch for you. Okay, ready? Are you ready? You're getting a little Fitch slap, even though that's another show. For those of you who don't know, the Fitch slap is a public service. It only comes out when necessary. It is always done in love. And it's my honor to direct someone's attention when they go astray. Yeah. This is your new phrase. Are you guys, everybody, you guys need to say this. Okay, ready? My strengths lie in other areas.
My strengths lie in other areas.
See? You didn't put yourself down. You did not feed the bully. You did not clothe the bully. You said my strengths lie in other areas. And I feel so good about myself now, right?
Yes.
So Facebook page is, what is your Facebook page, Leisa? Employee Management
Consulting. And or my personal one is which is also, I guess, my public one, Leisa Reid. It's LEISA REID.
Excellent. And we are going to have, I think that her information is below. Her name is right there. You can see the spelling because she has such a unique spelling of her name. Like, so I have to say, Leisa, that's so sassy and cool. I kind of like it. Like, LEISA. As a matter of fact, they were asking me beforehand saying, how does she say that? Is it Liza? Is it Lisa? Is it Lisa? Like, you're just so mysterious.
I know. I tell people E is for exceptional. That's all I can say. So.
Boom!
Boom! Drop the mic.
That's right, girl. I love it. Again, that's what I'm talking about. Personality, spunk, commitment, dedication, motivation. This is a woman that I truly respect and admire. And I'm so glad that you guys came here today. I'm glad that you participated. And I hope that you guys took out your cell phone and you put in the date and time, and make sure on Wednesday nights you're here at 7 p.m. I hope that you'll actually come in about 6 p.m. from a girlfriend, Jenny Q. Because I got to tell you, now you guys, I don't know. I think Jenny Q and I are going to do something on this, but I'm just going to tell you right now, there's going to be a secret password coming up in a show later on. There's going to be a giveaway. Jenny doesn't even know this, so just saying. It's #BNB. Okay. If Jenny's in the house, she knows what it means. Nobody else does, but we are going to have a giveaway at some point between our shows. #BNB. Okay. Put it in the chat box, people. #BNB. And again, Jenny and I are going to let you know at some point, and you guys are going to see some fun stuff coming up from us. I have to tell you, the team that Rob's put together, not just behind the scenes, Dave Werba in the house. Hey, babe. The behind the scenes are amazing, but also the fellow people that we're putting together shows, and we're creating this lineup. I mean, Rob's the mastermind behind it. He'll tell you he's not, but I'm going to tell him my strengths lie in other areas, right? Yours lies right here. He's been building a great arsenal. And Monday night, he said Red Set. Now this Monday, I don't know if Yo Pickles is on, but I am not because it's a holiday. She is on anyway. I will not be on because it's a holiday. I got something going on with my family. But after that, I am. But Yo Pickles is on next Monday, and I want you guys to be here for Face Your Talent. It's a great show. It's all about talent. If you got some talent, I don't know, did she finish auditions, Rob, or is she still We still got you guys. You might still be able to get in. And you guys can always message me tweet me on Twitter at Vicki_Fitch. I will hook you up with Yo Pickles. If you got some talent, I'm talking about some good talent, because this is a show that this is like, it's like America's Got Talent, but it's on Facebook Live, and it's produced like this, not with the image sticking out of your head. Again, Facebook, step up your game, brother. Come on, step up your game, Zuckerberg, because that was just not right. You got to do stuff like right now, what Rob's doing here. So I want you guys to know that this is the place we want you to be. I want you to put it on your calendar. This is a worldwide show, right? We are not stuck with just the U.S. We're not stuck with just a state. We are worldwide, and we want you to join us. And I want you guys, there's a live media guide that tells you, he's putting this together, you guys, where you can find where your favorite live streaming stars, remember me, don't forget me, okay? Your favorite live streaming stars, where you can check where they're at. And again, be part of our community. We want you to be included. If you guys are interested in being a guest on my show, go to VickiFitch.com, click the Vicki Fitch Live tab, and you can click the link there. Pick one of the 3 shows you think you might be a good fit for. I'd love to interview and find out how we can connect and how we can help you build a community as well. So Leisa, as we're going back to you and finding out, you have done so many amazing things. Is there anything on the horizon? Is there anything these people can purchase from you besides this book? Is there anything they can do to connect with you? If they wanted to give you a big virtual Leisa Reid hug, what would they do? How do they connect?
Definitely Facebook's a great way to connect with me. You can message me there. If you have any questions that came up for you that you maybe didn't put on the chat, I can't see all the chats. So reach out to me, and I'm happy to help or refer you to somebody. And then what was the other question? Wow, I'm like, this is so exciting.
Just because I'm just dropping so much on you, right? I asked you if is there anything you can buy? I know when I was on your website, employeemanagementconsulting.com, there's some things that they can purchase.
There are some things they can purchase. They can get the book, as you know. And then I also have an audio system. If you're not ready maybe to work with someone, like I do consulting, of course, and one-on-one consulting. But if you're not ready to take that step, but you're like, you know what, I think I just need some information. I'm going to pop it on my phone. You can download it. You can buy it right there on the website, download it, listen to it, start taking notes. You're welcome to do that. It's really, really valuable information, especially if you're struggling. Usually I say, like, if you're frustrated with your team, if your employees are really irritating you and you're noticing that you're coming home and taking out on your family, you need this system. And or maybe you have a coworker even that's like driving you nuts or something like that. So if you're working more than 12 hours a day, you need the system. There's a lot of things that are important, and it's all about having your quality of life be improved. That's what I'm about. I'm like, I love working. I love my career. And I love my family. I love balance. I love being with my friends and having a glass of Chardonnay, and you know what I mean? Like, I love relaxing and just chilling and playing solitaire on my phone sometimes. So, if you're just not finding any joy and balance in your life, you need this. You need this book. You need this series. Get help. It's available. It's available.
Right. Right. It's kind of like there's no more excuses, right? That help is available, and we don't have to suffer anymore. It used to be the day and age where we didn't have control over over the information, right? You had to go to college, you had to go here, you had to go there. You didn't have control. Now we have so much free information, so much discount information. We don't have to pay $5,000 to go to a seminar. We can download your, CDs for a fraction of that cost. Yeah. We can change the trajectory of where we are and what we're doing. And, while you were saying that, this is a shameless self-promotion really quick, because I do have the Rockstar Guide to Getting It Done, right? That I teach people how to get more done in less time. And that, you reminded me of it because of the fact, like you said, when people are working 12 hours a day, they're feeling overwhelmed. They obviously need some management techniques from you for sure. But there's probably an opportunity for them to learn how to group task and layer things in a different way so they can actually get more joy out of their life, right? Because I always say, we're going to continue doing the things we're doing if we can learn how to do them in less time, and it's not cutting like cutting corners where you're getting less value, then it changes who you are. And so Leisa, I've so enjoyed having you on the show today. If you guys have enjoyed having Leisa on the show, I hope that you guys will, first of all, put some ones in the chat box, do some emojis. I will have in the show notes afterwards, we will be having links to all the stuff that Leisa talked about. We'll have links to direct you to different places that we spoke of. So it'll make it really easy. But I hope you guys will do me a solid. Will you guys do me a favor and share this out? As you know, getting reach on Facebook is really an important way for us to deliver this message, deliver the value to other people. If people don't want to watch it, they won't. But hit that share button, hit the like button, comment some. I promise. If you comment on my show, I will comment back. I promise you that. Because after the show, Rob, he won't even let me go to sleep until I sit there and answer every single person. But it's because I want to. I really appreciate you guys. And Leisa, your time is so valuable, and yet you chose to spend it with us tonight. And so I just want to really, first of all, tell you thank you, and tell you there is a gift coming for you in the mail, because we like to treat our guests very, very well here at Vicki Fitch Live. Yes, there's something.
Oh, so exciting.
Because isn't it fun to get mail?
Yeah.
Like, that's not a bill. If it's a bill, forget it. But if it's not a bill.
I love getting mail. Real mail works. You can actually get stuff in the mailbox.
Yes. And
thank you for having me. You and your whole team, everybody, you guys are taking care of me, and Rob and Sam and Jeff somewhere in there. Where are you?
Jeff Squared. Yeah, I know. Jeff Squared.
I want them to come live with me. You guys just come and stay.
Don't steal my production team.
On a different time. On a different time. Different day. Different.
Okay. No, you can totally use them. They will produce an amazing show just like this. I mean, they're here. If you guys are thinking about stepping up your game, if you guys want to build a business and a brand, would you guys say this is a better way than, just saying, I mean, I Facebook Live twice a day. Don't get me wrong. I love Facebook Live. But wouldn't you say this is a better way to deliver your message with branding, with, a message that conveys that you stepped up your game, that you're a pro, and that you actually are here to make a profit and to deliver value to the marketplace. So if that's true, you guys connect with me. I will put you in touch with the right peeps. We will, again, you can't have my slot. Can I just say that again? You cannot have my slot. Rob will not let you. He's made me a promise. He's a Christian man too, and he gave me his word, and I trust the man.
It's safe. You're going to be okay. Don't worry.
Touch my slot.
I
don't like changing
Vicki.
No, again, I have had so much fun. You guys that are listening to the podcast, please, you guys go to Vicki Fitch Live, go and to my Facebook page, watch episode 18 with Miss Leisa Reid. Follow Leisa on any platform you can get your hands on. She's going to be extending her platforms out. She doesn't know that yet, but she'll be extending her platform reach just a little bit.
I'm on LinkedIn too. What are you, like a star? I have all my stars on LinkedIn, like 1,000 people, blah, blah, blah. I'm on there too.
Wait, blah, blah, blah. Yes, we're going to work on your social media delivery, darling. But again, we still absolutely adore you. So guys, this has been episode 18 of Vicki Fitch Live, A Fresh Perspective with my dear friend, Leisa Reid from Employee Management Consulting. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the broadcast. I hope that you will share this out with other people. I hope that you will connect with the team here at Enlightened Audiovisual, and I hope that you'll connect with me. I appreciate your time. I know you have a lot of places that you could be, and I want to thank you. I hope that you'll join me on other social media platforms. You guys know how to reach me, and you can certainly look in the show notes, but I appreciate you more than you guys can even imagine. So, and by the way, if you guys are interested in being a sponsor, I got some tweets yesterday and this morning. I couldn't get back to all of you. If you guys are interested in being a sponsor, please message me. You can tweet me at Vicki_Fitch. You can also fill out that form on Vicki Fitch Live about being on the show. You can just fill in the section there. We would definitely, we consider all requests, and I will definitely, if you are a fit for the show, I'd love to talk to you about it. So guys, thank you for being here. I will be on Periscope twice a day tomorrow. I want to remind you, like I always do, to dream it, believe it, and achieve it. Ciao.